Hi everyone. So I just uploaded a review of Green Arrow, and I can already tell nobody's gonna watch this video. It's nobody's really interested in the book right now, and I got a question for y'all just straight off the bat. If I read a comic and it's just straight up boring, like Green Arrow was, should I even do a video about it? Tell me in the comments. Anyway, I usually like to keep these videos light, and I actually see my channel almost as more of like a comedy channel than a comic channel, although I love comics obviously. So because I get a lot of people, they say I don't even like comics, why do I keep watching all your videos? Yeah, I try to keep it light, keep it fun, but this is terrible racist propaganda and I hate this comic. I'm going to actually, oh yeah, I forgot, I already got my punishment for it planned out, but I forgot to prep it. Is that water going to be too distracting? That's going to be too distracting. Get the idea. But so Miss Marvel. So a little background on Miss Marvel is I have a daughter who's Muslim and she wears a hijab. So when this first issue came out, my kids like comics, but they don't love comics. To them, comics is just a delivery vehicle for a story. They'll read a comic and they don't say, oh, I want to read another comic. They go, oh, I'm going to go watch TV. But I had a little brief moment of being an SJW dad. So when I found out they had a Muslim superhero, she's a girl, she's in the New York City area. Like my daughter, I bought it for her. I said, hey, she's just like you. And then she read it, and then she said, she handed it back to me. She said, this is boring. Can I cut it up to make paper dolls? Then she said she didn't like it and then she pointed at, there was it was just basically like high school drama, and she said all the people were mean in it. And then she pointed to him, and every single person that was mean was white. And I was like, oh. And then, I keep hearing about this. So Marvel has shoved Miss Marvel down our throats for the last 19 months. And they keep saying how she's so successful. And as you're going to see right here, she's selling about 18,000 copies. She's selling about just a few hundred more than a book that got canceled on its second issue. She is selling more than the flagship character Captain Marvel, 1,000 copies more. But I'm going to contend that these sales are just sales. So the way comic shops operate is they buy the book and they don't get to return it. Most periodicals, like all the magazines, like at the convenience store and the grocery store, they get to return unsold copies. Comic shops don't do that. They don't get the opportunity. So these numbers are just for orders. They're not people reading them. And I would contend that political correctness makes all the, for instance, there's tons of comic shops that don't have G.I. Joe comics. They don't have Savage Dragon, but every single comic shop has Miss Marvel because you have to have her, you know. Anyway, I've heard people say that they like it, but kind of like with my Riri Williams like fanfic I did in my last two videos, I think more people like the idea of Kamala Khan more than the story, because the story is awful and it is proudly, virulently racist. So we start off and the cover is just bad. It doesn't tell you anything about the inside except for that Miss Marvel has a family and friends. That's it. She's got a weird... Okay, so let's talk about her powers. Her powers are trash. And this is one of the reasons she's so unpopular. Her costume is god-awful. That's GAWD, so I'm not taking the Lord's name in vain. This trash costume is literally, it's a cosplay-centric, and it's meant to be a costume that anyone can make. It's absolute trash, and it looks like a fake superhero. Then let's get into her powers. So, I got bad news for you guys. I'm going to break it to you just real blunt, grunt style. Men and women are different. And things that men like, women don't like, and vice versa. And let me tell you something. Women like to be pretty, and they like to be attractive. And they don't like to be misshapen monsters with giant, goofy hands. Now, a woman will look at this and say, oh, that's cute. But if you say, "Oh, do you want to be here?" She'll say, "Oh God, no. Can I be like a Wonder Woman or something like that?" Like they don't want to be this fake, dentist office superhero. So we start off and we get some exciting action with a goat in a field. Again, I want to preface that I'm not making this up, and this is not a fake comic that I made just to prank you guys. So what we do is we get, so there's a Muslim holiday called Eid, and it's happening right now. And it actually kind of almost messed up my daughter's vacation plans, because her grandpa was supposed to pick her up, and then it was the middle of Eid, and I just basically said, okay, we planned. She doesn't get to see her grandpa. We're going to prioritize seeing her grandpa. So we get her feeling, and Kamala Khan is annoying, but not that bad. She's basically the same OMG fangirl that SJW makes almost all of their female characters into. But she's not like a total spaz. She's just merely kind of annoying. She's not even that bad of a millennial. She's just kind of annoying, but not that bad. Her family is in a field. They're buying a goat to slaughter for Eid. And Kamala Khan is like caterwauling for like 3 pages about, OMG, I like meat, but I don't want to kill animals. It's kind of dumb. Very, very boring. The coloring style it's good coloring, but it's not comic coloring. This is like for a kid's storybook. And then we get to see the happy family, and they're just all chit-chatting. And then they go, they're celebrating the holiday. Everyone's just kind of blandly happy. And then, oh my gosh, I literally had to look at this page for a minute to figure out what was supposed to be the oh my. So they do it like there's some massive conflagration. And I kept looking at this, and all I'm seeing is a well-drawn but boring neighborhood and a pastel-colored sky. And I kept thinking it was something to do with Secret Empire, like it was a tie-in. I refuse to review Secret Empire because it's just a soulless prank on the fans. But I saw a review, and there was like a big dome over Manhattan. So this is set in Jersey City. So I was like, oh, is the dome, did it like start with these pastel colors? But no, this is what you're supposed to notice is shocking. So, okay, road closed, and then it says, bring back the real Jersey City. But it's so foreshortened into the side that I didn't notice it until the character mentions it. So then we get the opening crawl. Okay, so a little bit about G. Willow Wilson. G. Willow Wilson is a complete fraud without talent. She has a very, very small talent to write light, not funny, but amusing, like not even amusing, just light dialogue, Like it sounds like a person said it. It's not funny. It's not even supposed to be a joke. It's just supposed to be like sitcom shenanigans minus the jokes. Then we find out, okay, so the title of this storyline is Mecca. So we just got like 4. So the deal about this, the religious stuff, is that I've read, Chris Claremont, a lot of stuff, and Chris Claremont was a very learned, well-traveled guy, and he would talk about different cultures, and it was really great. But I never saw him spend 4 straight boring pages talking about Kitty Pride, talking about Passover. You didn't get 4 pages, and then a storyline called Easter about Kurt Wagner's, Christian beliefs. I believe he's Catholic. I'm not sure. I know he's Christian, and he's very religious. So then we get 4 pages. So we get 4 pages, and then it turns out this is a pseudo hate crime. Then the storyline is called Mecca, and then we find out about her power. So I guess her deal is that she protects Jersey City, which is fine. But then it's like, then they get into like her history, and it's really boring. It's like, months ago, Miss Marvel's image was plastered across Jersey City in a campaign that made her the poster child for gentrification without her consent. Oh my gosh. Wait. That's really boring and not dramatic at all. As it turns out, the culprit was one Chuck Worthy. Guess what race Chuck Worthy? Just guess. Just guess. An agent of Hydra who was trying to use the mayoral race to take over Jersey City. Gasp. Though Kamala defeated Chuck, the white man, damage to her reputation was already done for having been associated with the white man. Okay, I added the white man thing in there. And now it's those she loves most who will suffer. Oh my gosh. So, what happens is they find this sign that says "Bring back the real Jersey," to which they automatically assume this is something anti-Muslim. By the way, here's the demographics, boink, of Jersey City. Jersey City is the most cartoonishly diverse city in the country. It is literally one of those politically correct beer commercials where it's like 4 bros and it's like one's Hispanic, one's black, one's Asian, one's white, one of them's in a wheelchair. Like, it's almost equally everyone. So the idea that this very diverse city, so they're right next to New York City. So it turns out that the stated purpose of this is the mayor she says she defeated got elected. It's a really boring plot. But then again, he instituted a bunch of laws that a mayor can't institute. And it's basically like controlling the superhero population. They jumped to the conclusion that in the very fair, again, it's just like Rita Williams. They jumped to oppression. This must be about us being Muslim. Even though Jersey City is very diverse. Except for the bad guys. There's no diversity in the bad guys. They are all white. So then they go, in my experience, when people start talking about the real this and real that, it usually only means one thing: divide and conquer. So then we get this. So we're going to show, like, this artist does a cartoony style. But look at the two. I actually think this is a lesbian couple. Look how they're drawn like effectively monsters, while everyone else is like kind of like got a cute or fun Disney style. So then they're like, okay, we're gonna go enjoy our holiday. So then they're having their holiday. They go out to so she's still thinking about it, so they go outside. And in an incredibly dated topical reference, man, I'm running out of time with this thing. I gotta hurry up. Something like that. So anyway, 2 white guys are squatting behind her car and they scare them. Then they're very cocky and they say, oh, the white mayor got elected, and guess what? We're instituting all these laws that you could never institute from a mayor overnight. He basically declares martial law and like outlaws all these things. I mean, Trump can't even get a travel ban passed. It immediately gets turned down. But the mayor of Jersey City can literally like roll back all human and civil rights, and it's just like, oh, you're stuck. You know, we're white guys. So then she's like, I'm gonna go take care of this. And so she's like, some neighbors, the words sting like a paper cut. Which ones? What do they know? Why didn't they say anything to my face? It's never been established that this is anti-Muslim. It's literally, what's the reason they stop her? So they're like, oh, we're from this thing. So there's too many reports of unregistered superheroes in the city causing damage. We got a call from neighbors saying there are people living at this address who may be hiding their superpower stats. So again, it's superpowers. Now, if you want to do a symbolism that this is about, you know, the oppressed and minority, that's fine. But she's saying, oh, this is fake. This is just to get us for Muslims. I think the Muslim, it's got to be like 10 to 15% of the city. So then she goes and she finds this. The bad guy is a very pale white person with red hair who is, I guess, it sounds like at one time they kind of knew each other and they might have been on the same side. So then it's like, oh yeah, this is because I'm brown, right? And it's like, no, it's because, so no one ever says it's because she's Muslim. She totally assumes that it is. And then they start attacking her. It's kind of like mutually like antagonistic. The fight is actually okay. The one thing I liked about this is that she's not that OMG fangirl, oh my gee, pop culture reference. That's really kept to a minimum, and she's treated as an actual character. Now, again, like I talked about, SJW writers don't really like Marvel Comics, so this doesn't feel like anything set in the Marvel universe. It seems like, I don't know, maybe like more of like a PBS TV show, you know, teaching you about tolerance. So it's like, I don't know, it's dumb. But anyway, so then they basically say, like, she goes, what did you see at that rally? And then she goes like this, she goes, that is not the question I was expecting. So you got all the evil white people, all the bad people in a town that's only like 37% white. Amazingly, all the bad people are white. At first, I'm not even sure what to say, but it slowly dawns on me. Look at these cartoon stereotype. Oh, he's even got a neck beard. The people in the background, The people I sort of dismissed as a walking internet comment section, they're real. There are a lot of them, and they're pissed off. Crowds. I saw crowds of people. So Kamala Khan, in an extremely diverse city, is shocked that there are people who disagree with her, and you can form a crowd of a couple hundred of them. She's so used to living in an echo chamber, and this goes back to G. Willow Wilson. So in the title, I seem to be referring to, so Kamala Khan, like Riri, jumps to oppression and seems to actually require oppression. And there's this this is an old reference, Seinfeld. They had the guy from Breaking Bad, and he was a dentist. And he converted to Judaism, and his first thing to do was just to make Jewish jokes to his Jewish clientele. And the people who were born Jewish, they're like, Jerry, one time he gets offended, he goes, I think he converted just for the jokes. I think G. Willow Wilson might have converted just for the oppression, because it's all about, the Muslim family is just total normal, that's fine, but all the white people are evil. Oh, there's one token white person who isn't evil. She's an airhead rich girl. So they do this dumb joke. It's like, he basically kind of says they're outside looking for illegal. They're trying to do like illegals. And then she goes, oh my God, I'm an illegal immigrant. And she's like, tee-hee, I was born in France. My rich family didn't fill out the paperwork. I've been scared my whole life. They're like, whatever, white girl. So then this is something, I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to call shenanigans on this. So they're finishing their holiday, and they tell the guy, who I think this guy's supposed to be comic relief, he's like, bring the extra food to Mrs. Papa Zizi down the street. So he's talking about like, oh, they always boss me around. Oh, they're so bossy. Okay, I've lived in Muslim countries. I've deployed to them. I've been in Muslim neighborhoods. This thing of the guy by himself carrying the heavy pot of food down the street, I'm calling shenanigans on that. It would be one of two things. It would be these two girls, even the pregnant one, carrying it by themselves, maybe with some kids in tow, or it would be the guy and one of the women, and the woman would be carrying it while he walked with his arms behind his back. Hand to God, I have seen that happen hundreds of times. I have never seen, oh, the put upon schmuck, oh man, these women are always bossing me around. That is not culturally accurate. So then he comes out, and the evil white guys are again just lurking in his driveway, and he goes, oh, it's been brought to our attention that you are an unregistered superpower. I'm afraid you're going to have to come with us. So they're not restarting civil war, the first one from 10 years ago. Apparently just a mayor can institute the things that warranted an entire company-wide crossover. So then he's like, oh, you're kidding me, right? That was one time I was just sick. So now they're trying to do they're taking all the Muslims away. But again, no one's ever said that this is because they're Muslim. It's Hydra. Hydra has a problem with superpowered people opposing them. Hydra installed the mayor. And so there is a person with superpowers in this building. And it sounds like, you have to do it for an inference, but it sounds like at one time when he was sick, something happened where he temporarily had powers, so he's getting dragged away. So they do this very serious, for this goofy drawings, and they do this very serious thing where it's basically, America's oppressive, America's racist. And then we start off, and then we just get this, look at this. It's the evil, freckle-faced, porcelain-skinned, red-headed white girl just malevolently grasping Kamala Khan in her hands. This is Stay Tuned, next issue. Holla at Kamala. So yeah, I read issue 1, gave it to my daughter. She wanted to cut it up. I read issue 2, and it was racist trash like you wouldn't believe. So what am I going to say? Read it, rip it, roast it? I'm definitely going to rip this. I'm not going to rip this. You know what? This thing is filthy with the most vile racism, very proud racism. So what do you do with things that are dirty? You wash them. So I'm going to go put this in here, see if we can get a little bit of, wash the racism off of it. Maybe have the author see people as people and not just like whatever their surface level characteristics are. I don't see anything coming out. Nothing's leaching out, so it looks like the racism is still in there. So tell me what you think about this video. Tell me if you think I need to let this soak overnight. Maybe the racist propaganda will come out of it, and it'll be an actual story about heroism and, you know, actual diversity, being in a diverse city. Thanks for watching, and I'll have that John Carter video up later tonight.